Our opening cinematic begins. It shows what looks like a very powerful zombie easily pushing a stone platform with a body on top. We then get a series of what appears to be flashbacks. There's a scene of some sort of spire that means absolutely nothing. Bookcases full of skulls that turn their heads toward the camera and shriek. A girl who's on fire, while a high school doodle of silhouette of a woman crying on a piece of parchment zooms into the camera, and we walk past another zombie and a stone platform. We then see a series of flashbacks of some woman we seem to care for, then again, and then another where she disappears as it appears the body on the stone platform starts wiggling around. After a whip pan to another scene where we are now to believe our character on the stone platform is dreaming, then back to the woman. This time the woman is a zombie that steps back and reveals other dead fellows who are pointing at the camera, apparently blaming us for something, perhaps their deaths, where we then cut to another scene of a guy drowning, and we're trying to save him and failing, and then I think it's the same guy, but this time he's stabbing us while we're fighting him. Then a cut of a scene of whatever these things are, then a quick fisheye transition to what looks like us being buried alive amongst four people looking down on us. We're looking in a mirror as we turn into a zombie with a huge jaw, and then Love Ghost Jennifer Hale fades to black. And then we jiggle on the slab a bit, and it's the main menu. I presume this is going to be a confusing game about random dead zombie issues, but that was so random and weird I don't know what to expect. It seemed to be some sort of attempt at horror. In fact, the game, for all its content, would make more sense if that cinematic never existed. We then start a new life, because new games are all for those other kinds of games, it's just not hip enough. And we come to a character stat screen. Intelligence isn't just a stat, it's an ability that represents one's memory, reasoning, and deductive skills. It's going to help us regain memories faster, give more dialogue options, and make us cast mage spells. This is sounding like we really did forget our previous life, hence new life. Another interesting ability is Wisdom, which represents intuition, common sense, and willpower. It also helps us recall memories, and we get an EXP learning boost. Intelligence and Wisdom are two very similar stats that have quite a lot to live up to. Similar to the theory of metaphysics from Plato, it seems regaining memories is going to be a main part of this game, like we're either had some very large previous lifespan, or we're trying to remember various past life experiences. Our portrait also looks like a Jamaican version of Solomon Grundy. So we wake up off a stone platform and a flying skull comes and talks to us. Turns out we can't remember who we are, though Mort is a flying friendly skull, and you're both trapped in a mortuary place. This is because he has tried all the doors, and you're locked in. Don't ask how a flying skull can open doors with just their jaw. Mort says we have scars and tattoos all over our back, and the tattoos are actually a series of words. The message says we need to find our journal and seek out someone named Farad. So that's our plot. Due to our amnesia, we need to find a journal and find some guy named Farad. The message on our back also tells us not to tell anyone about our condition. We ask Mort whether our journal was with us when our body arrived, but he said we were stripped of all possessions aside from our clothing, and this weird giant skull suspender belt thing. So to escape, we have to find the key, which is presumably on one of the zombies, and the game is telling us to search the shelves to find a weapon to fight the zombies. Mort and the game also lightly explain how to do inventory and how to run. After all, a previous zombie was pushing us and a giant stone platform into this room, so they're kinda wrong. So we find a scalpel and some bandages, put them on, and encounter a skeleton. Zombie. Turns out Mort is special, as he's only mostly dead. And instead of killing zombies indiscriminately, we search for the one with the key, and we need to kill said zombie in order to break the key free from its grasp. We exit the room, and Mort tells us to keep a low profile, and that the caretakers who are keeping us here are called the Dustmen. They're a faction who believe in all things that should be dead, or the sooner dead the better. The zombies here are people who sold their bodies to the Dustmen after their death. He's also being serious about how the female zombies are the only chance for Mort and ourselves to have sex, which is quite hilarious considering Mort is a flying magical skull, and we're more interested in figuring out how to escape this place than even considering what Mort is suggesting. Mort also suggests asking him questions, and secondly, writing anything down in a journal so that we don't forget it, which is ironic again because our second goal is to look for our original journal, and thus begins the real tagline of this game.
Updated my journal.